All right, welcome to this week's Points and Miles report here on Traveling on Everyday Spend. I'm excited to be here with you and to go over the news of the week that we all need to know. I do want to first thank each and every one of you that supports the channel by watching the live stream and the videos. If you're finding information beneficial, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Doesn't cost you anything, but it really means a great deal to me and this channel. And I want to thank you in advance for that. As always, I want to be respectful of you and your time. So let's go ahead and get started. And let's get the agenda up. And as far as the agenda, we're going to first touch on the here at the last part of the month here of August. We're going to look at the intro bonus offers, the transfer bonuses, and the points and miles opportunities. And I've changed that from just purchases because there are different other opportunities for points and miles that I want to make sure that we do cover. So I've changed that. And then I've also added a last minute info slide because near these last hour before we go on, I normally will see some other new things that I can't put nice and neat and formally into a slide. So this is going to be the last minute slide so that we can be able to get that information out to you as soon as we can. And then we're going to look at the promotions galore that I've talked about in the title. And so we've got the Hyatt promotions and news. We've got the Six Senses Telluride, and we've talked a lot about Six Senses, especially last week, talking about IHG's ownership and being able to book those as a luxury type brand. And then we're going to talk about the Marriott promotions. We will then move on to the IHG promotion in news. And then we even have Best Western promotions, which there are enough of them that even if you are not a person that stays at Best Western brand, you may want to actually consider it. And I'll look forward to going over that with you. And then we'll talk about Bilt Rewards and Walgreens, which got announced earlier this week. And of course, we've got Bilt Rent Day. And we talked about Bilt Rent Day and strategy in the last live stream, but we really didn't talk about the what was going on because that information wasn't out yet. Well, now we have it. And so we'll talk about that and hopefully to make sure that you maximize the rent day as much as you can. So let's go ahead and first move on to the credit card offers. So we've got for American Express, we got the American Express Gold through November 6th. You can get as high as 100,000 points and 20% back on your statement credits on your restaurant purchases worldwide, up to $100 with $6,000 worth of spend in the first 6 months. Then we have the Amex Platinum, and I normally put that here because if you go into your incognito mode, a lot of times you're going to find the annual that welcome bonus be very elevated. And so the last time I looked, I saw 175,000 points with $8,000 worth of spend in the first 6 months. But your mileage may vary, but definitely take a look if you're interested in the Platinum card. Then we have the Marriott Bonvoy Bevy that runs through October 2nd. And that one has 155,000 points with $5,000 worth of spend in the first 6 months. And then we also have the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant that also runs through October 2nd with 185,000 points for $6,000 worth of spend in the 6 months. So it gives you a very good mix of Bevy, which is kind of a mid-tier type of card, even at $250 annual fee. And then, of course, the Brilliant being the biggest dollar Marriott card you can get. Then we have Capital One, and we've had this Capital One Venture promotion of 75,000 miles and $250 in Capital One travel credit for $4,000 worth of spend in the first 3 months. Well, now we're finding out that it looks like the date this is going to end is September 9th. So if you do have any interest in that, you want to go ahead and look at pulling the trigger on that pretty soon before that opportunity is lost. As I've talked about for that card, this is not a promotion that is going to make you choose the Venture over the Venture X. It's totally different credit cards. And I did a video on the Venture as well as the Venture X and even the Venture One. I'll make sure to put a link for those ones if you want to be able to take a look. and see more about the differences and how it might fit into your strategy. Then we've got Chase, and we have the Marriott Bonvoy Bold with its best offer ever, 60,000 points plus free night award for just $2,000 worth of spend in the first 3 months. Then we have the IHG One Rewards Premier credit card with the best offer ever. And we are now finding out that that one, looks like it's going to end on September 4th. $99 annual fee, but 5 free nights with 60,000 points per night for just $4,000 worth of spend in the first 3 months. And I also did a video on this credit card because I really think that for a lot of people, it is a excellent credit card, especially that will way outpunch its price on that $99 annual fee for you to consider. I'll have a link for that credit card as well. But you literally are able to fund your vacation with those 5 free certificate nights at 60,000 points a night. And we're not talking about just staying at a Holiday Inn. You can be looking at definitely their higher luxury brands if you want. Then we have the IHG One Rewards Traveler Credit Card, which is the 0 annual fee, and you get even 100,000 points for that at $2,000 worth of spend. That one looks like it. I'm assuming it's going to be the same date as the Premier, even though I've not seen that. So that's why I put the question mark with it. But once again, if you're interested in it, make sure to look at pulling the trigger on that really soon with that September 4th date. Then we have the Southwest business cards that are still going on up to 120,000 miles. It's a lot of spend to be able to do it, but if you do have the spend for it, then you can get yourself to getting the companion pass just off of this card. But when a lot of times we have to try to combine it with a personal and a business credit card. So take a look at that if that is something that fits your spend and your personal preference. Then we have the Inc. Business Preferred, and that one looks like we're going to be seeing that end September 4th or 5th. I've seen those two dates, so be sure to go ahead and look at pulling the trigger on that if you're interested by September 4th. Don't wait, don't take a chance on that. It's 120,000 points for $8,000 worth of spend in the first 3 months with really only a $95 annual fee. You have the World of Hyatt with a limited time offer, the $199 annual fee, and it's up to 75,000 points with 60,000 points for $5,000 worth of spend in the first 3 months with an additional 15,000 points for $12,000 worth of spend in the first 6 months. And you can see very easily by comparing the Inc. Business Preferred and the World of Hyatt business card that you are going to get so much more mileage out of putting your spend into the Inc. Business Preferred versus the World of Hyatt when you can easily transfer those 120,000 points if you wanted to Hyatt. So we've got the personal Hyatt credit card, never even considered the business credit card, but I'm sure it is good for some that are going to have some high spend that they want to put on it, but just something to kind of keep in mind for that. And then for Citi, we've got the Advantage Platinum for the American Airlines card. It's a limited time offer, and they have a $0 initial annual fee and then $99 after the first year. 75,000 miles for $3,500 worth of spend in the first 4 months. And then, of course, we have the standard Citi Strata Premier credit card with the $95 annual fee, still at 75,000 points for $4,000 worth of spend. And that's probably what it's going to remain at. So we're not talking about any limited time offer. Wells Fargo, we still have the Choice Privileges MasterCards, both the regular at 0 annual fee and the Select MasterCard at $95 annual fee. Once again, if you're a person that is a Choice Hotels loyalist, these may be credit cards that may be helpful for you in your personal situation. And then lastly, basically, we've got Barclays, the Hawaiian Airlines Business MasterCard, $99 annual fee. It has an elevated one where it's now up to 70,000 Hawaiian miles, 60,000 Hawaiian miles after you spend $2,000 on the card within the first 90 days of membership, and then an additional 10,000 bonus Hawaiian miles after you have a purchase is made by someone with an employee credit card within 90 days of membership. And if you're a person that doesn't is a bit kind of cautious about business credit cards, I completely understand it. But as a person that has basically gotten business credit cards just off of a thought that I wanted to create a business, you should not be concerned about it all. And I'll put a couple of videos, links in the description that kind of talks about it. But don't feel intimidated by it or feel that you need to have an LLC or anything else like that, or you have to have an established business. It's definitely like not like that. As long as you have the credit score, and in some cases the relationship, depending upon the bank you're dealing with. So let's go with that. And then as far as the August transfer bonuses, not too many changes from what we talked about before, but for Amex, we've got the Aer Lingus, British Airways, and Iberia credit cards with a 30% transfer through September 30th and 24, and that's the Avios. Those all use Avios that we've talked about previously. We've got Hawaiian Airlines at 20% through August 31st of 2024. And then for Capital One, we have Qantas at 20% August 31st. And I've highlighted Air France KLM Flying Blue because that's something I just saw here in the last couple of hours, where that one has a 20% transfer bonus, and that runs through September 29th of 2024. Now, none of these transfer bonuses are ones that are historic or anything that you have to feel that you need to drop everything to get it. And definitely not worth making the purchases on with no plan in mind. But if you do have something that is planned for any of those airlines and you're already looking at that, this could be a nice sweetener in your particular case. And then as far as the August points miles opportunities, that's where I would I've kind of highlighted a couple things. We've got the Avianca Life Miles award sale. And for that one, you're looking at up to a 35% award discount on several routes. You need to book by August 31st, at just before midnight, and have until all the way till April 2025 for that travel. And some of the routes that they're listing, as you can see, are mostly from JFK in New York to Medea. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing it Medellin, rather, San Salvador, Pereira. I might be wrong. I apologize. Quito, and then we also have Miami to Medellin and Orlando to Medellin. And we're seeing those miles are one way through this sale. And for that, you must have a U.S. address that is tied to your Avianca Life Miles account. And you also need to have to spend at least one day there to qualify to the destination to qualify for that. And then it's going to be considered economy class X. And then you can have a maximum number of tickets you can do under this promotion. So if you're already looking to go to the Central America area, might be something to look at. I'll have a link for that award sale page for you to be able to get even more information. Then we have the Delta Beyond the Summer event. Now, this one I only happened to see on the 27th, but it ends today. So I apologize. There was really no window of time for this information. Now, the discounts were originally available all the way from economy to some Delta One seats. But right now, after I looked at it, there really are just economy and main cabin. But there are still some good values that may fit for upcoming travel that you may be looking at. And the discounts are available on both cash fares as well as Sky Mile awards. I'll make sure to have a link for that page in the description for you to be able to look and see if there's anything that fits for your situation. And then we've got JetBlue TrueBlue with the deadline of September 13th. You do have to purchase 3,000 points miles to get the 125% bonus. And you can buy up to 150,000 in a transaction with 200,000 miles as the calendar year maximum. Now, JetBlue has a fixed value awards program, which is very different than other airlines. So, and may work for you in some cases, but definitely look at your potential use case. And then keep in mind that you've got Chase and Citi as 1-to-1 with JetBlue, and you also have Amex, which is transferring 1 to 0.8, which is not as ideal, but you may end up having a lot of Amex points that may help you with that particular situation. And then we have the leading hotels of the world. Leaders Club runs through September 27th. You have to purchase at least 2,000 points to get the 50% bonus. And for that, you have a maximum purchase is 50,000 points before the bonus. So an example on this is 100,000 points would cost you $6,000. It sounds like a lot because it is a lot, but there will be some cases because there's really about 400 hotels that fall under this. All of them are very expensive, where you may find that purchasing of points might, in some cases, do you better than having a cash purchase that you may be looking at doing. And he also look at there you have a transfer partner in Citi at a 5 Citi points to 1 Leaders Club point. So that can be a potential option for you too if you're looking at it. Hilton Honors, we have a deadline of September 24th, which was extended from earlier here in August. You just purchase 5,000 or more points to get the 100% bonus. Now, there is a maximum purchase bonus, maximum purchase of 235,000 points. So with the doubling, with the 100% bonus, you'd be at 470,000 points during this promotion. Now, if you're a new member to the Hilton Honors program, you may have to wait 30 days as long as you have some activity. And if you haven't, it would be 90 days. So once again, if you're new to Hilton Honors or looking to just sign up, this may not fit for you right now. But once again, Hilton Honors has these where they do get to 100% bonus once or twice a year. We've seen in the last couple of years. So don't feel like this is a once in a lifetime situation if it doesn't work for your time frame. And then I also included Spirit with theirs of purchasing 4,000 to 12,000 miles for 20%, all the way up to purchasing 40,000 points or more for 60%. It's not necessarily a great cents per point option, but as I always tell you, cents per point is just a foundation so that you can make an educated decision of what works best for you. There will be some use cases where it is better for you. And I also listed because there are no transfer partners for Spirit. So if you're a person that likes flying Spirit and looking at some options and have some good redemption, may be a possibility for you. And then as far as the last minute info that I talked about, now there is an option to buy Hawaiian miles that ends on September 13th. You can purchase if you purchase at least 6,000 miles, you can get the 50% bonus. Now, once again, as I talk about cents per point, you have 1.69 cents per point with that bonus compared to how Hawaiian miles may normally be valued at 0.8, 0.9. The max purchase is 50,000 miles before the bonus. There is no annual limit. And so if you're buying 3,000 to 5,000 miles, you get 40%. And then it's once you get to that 6,000 mile and above, that's where you get to that 50%. Now you do have, ironically, the Amex as a transfer partner, and they have that 20% transfer bonus through August 31st. So this would be a case where, once again, you're buying miles if you're interested or need it for top off, or a case where you know that you're getting a redemption with those miles that will exceed the value and works in your situation. Then I saw that we now have business Mastercard holders that now have an Instacart benefit. So if you do have a Mastercard business credit card, this is something that you would end up having now. And I'll have a link for that that promotion in the description as well. Now the offer runs through September 30th of 2025. You get 2 months for free of Instacart Plus, which will provide you $0 delivery fees on orders over $35. You'll have lower service fees and 5% back on pickup orders. You'll also get $20 back on second orders each month. So if you're a person that uses Instacart, that may be something that can work for you. If you're not a person that uses Instacart but are interested, then this 2 month window is a nice trial for you to be able to look at. And then we have United of having some concerns about the Alaska Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines merger. Not surprising for this, but the partnership with they have United has a partnership with Hawaiian currently, where you can earn United miles on paid Hawaiian airline flights booked through United. It's limited to code share, kind of inter island flights that are booked in connection with United flights. You cannot buy a standalone inter-island Hawaiian airline flight on United, but you can redeem United miles for standalone Hawaiian flights. Now, obviously, with the two things that come into play is that United is Star Alliance, while Alaska is under One World. Will it benefit Alaska to be able to do an agreement with United? And that's where their concern is. So they actually submitted, there's a link for kind of like the memo for the US Department of Transportation reflecting these same concerns that United brought to the Department of Transportation. And then, of course, Southwest, as we talked about last week, would love to see things collapse because they are really investing in that inner island type of activity. But as we talked about last week, the commitment to the state of Hawaii is clear to say that Alaska is not going to do anything that's going to impact that inner island activity that Hawaiian currently provides. So that's some of the last minute information that we've seen. And want to say thanks for stopping through to Matt. Matt, as I've told you all before, does the tidbits that provides news throughout the week and really some easy to be able to consume information, even sometimes multiple times through the day. So definitely a great watch for him as well. So now let's look at some of these promotions that I was talking about. And let me see, we got YAR 992, very interesting dimension to this merger. No one has talked about that United concern in this space. No, I appreciate it. It's not surprising, but this one definitely did just kind of pop up. And they probably were kind of holding this, wondering what the Department of Justice was going to do as far as how much they were going to scrutinize the whole merger possibility. And now that we've seen that the Department of Justice really let the window close for them to comment, and on top of that, that really did not put in any kind of restrictions or question anything. So now it looks like it can have a pretty easy walkthrough. And so now United wanted to speak up a bit. But I'll be shocked if it really has any impact to force Alaska to do anything. But your point's well taken, and thank you. So we have Hyatt Promotions in news. So we've got a lot of things. So first we have Hyatt House and Hyatt Place. Now you can receive double points for your days at either of those locations. So you're receiving 10 points per dollar versus the normal 5 points per dollar. And each additional, you can earn additional points based upon your status. So if you have Discoverist, it's 10% more, Explorist 20%, and Globalist 30%. Now, you do need to register by September 15th. I'll have a link for you to be able to register in the description. You do need to complete the stay between July 9th and October 15th. And the cap on this is 25,000 points. Hyatt House and Hyatt Place, love those places as a consistent place for very low dollars and really, to me, very low points. As low as 3,500 points if you're off peak with your Hyatt points. And so I've gotten a lot of mileage out of being at a Hyatt House and Hyatt Place. And I've also at the one time when Bilt did the um, the kind of the fast track to globalist for a year, that unfortunately is going to be ending next year for my term on it. I definitely did mattress running through Hyatt House and Hyatt Place, so definitely a good consistent option and could provide you some additional points. Then we have the question if you're going to Florida. So if you register by August 30th, and I'll have a link for this promotion as well, 1,000 bonus points for each qualifying night. You'll also get double elite nights on up to 10 nights for a total of 20 towards the next status tier. So if you are close to one of these tiers, and if you have travel in Florida, this could be a really nice sweetener for you because with just 10 nights and getting the double elite nights, you're only 10 away from being discoverist. You're 30 away from being explorist. Well, I'm sorry, you need to get to 30 for explorers, so you're only 10 away from that. You would have qualified for discoverist, and then you would be one third of the way there by itself for globalist at 60, which is normally required. Now, there are 15 participating hotels and resorts in Florida, so it's not every location in Florida, but the link that I will show you for Hyatt will provide you that information of those specific hotels and resorts. Then we have homes and hideaways where you can receive triple points on your bookings through them. You'll receive 15 points per dollar versus the normal 5. There is no registration necessary, so you don't have to worry about that. And you can book as long as you book and complete your stay by November 3rd. You are in there with that 3x option. So really nice options for you with Hyatt on their promotions for this one. And I see that Tim stopped in, appreciate it. Just booked an Orlando trip with Hilton. Well, I don't take a look if it's something that might still work for you. I don't know what necessarily what cancellation policy there may be, and if this is necessarily the points that get you there. But hopefully, if it is something that you might want to look at, it can be an option. And then we're still not done with Hyatt promotions. So we then have Passport to Paradise. You can save up to 40% on all inclusive resorts and receive $200 in resort coupons on your next vacation. Now, this applies to all of Hyatt's all inclusive resorts. And so you have the Impressions by Secrets Resort, Hyatt Zalara, Hyatt Ziva, Zoetree, Wellness and Spa Resorts, Secrets, Dreams, Breathless, in Sunscape. So when they ended up acquiring Apple Vacations, they really expounded on their portfolio of all-inclusive resorts. Now you must book by September 25th of this year, and travel through April 19th through 2025 would get you this discount. Now, there's a lot of, I'll say, gibberish regarding these coupons. You would think that for only $200 that it would be a very simple thing for Hyatt, but they chose to make it the most complicated possible. So with these $200, you're going to get 4 coupons valued at $10 each, 2 coupons at $20, and 3 coupons at $40 to make up that $200. But you can't use the $200 as you want. So you can use $100 can be used for spa treatments with $60 for dining and $40 for wine purchases. So I will briefly run through this. So spa treatment coupons are one $20 one and two $40 coupons, but you can only use one coupon for that spa treatment. So you can't use the full $100. You just can only use one of that. It's just makes no sense. Dining coupons, one $20 coupon, one $40 coupon. Now this one, both can be combined if you're going to be spending it only on food, but you can't spend it on wine at dinner. Then for wine, you get 4 $10 coupons, but you can't use them all at the same time. And you can only use one $10 one per bottle of wine. There are many destinations in the Caribbean that are available, but there's also locations in Bulgaria, Greece, Portugal, and Spain that are available for booking. Now, I'm a person that loves Hyatt. I will say from personal experience, I have stayed last year at the Hyatt Zilara in Cap Cana, which is, I'll call it a suburb of in the Dominican Republic. It was an outstanding stay. The service was outstanding. The food was great, which was a lot of things that if you go to a lot of all inclusives, it's the two things that kind of normally fall off for all inclusives are service, but especially the food. And that was not an issue during my time there at Cap Cana. So I would have went there again this year, but kind of got lucky into the trip to Australia. And so I used the points that I had for Cap Cana, and I'm using it there. But I am a very big proponent, and because they have so many different options, you can find a value that probably will work for you and your family. And so, whether you're going as you and a player two, or you and your family, there are definitely options. So, if there's any interest, take a look at that. And then, it's from a news standpoint, we've got a four-star Hyatt. Yes, a four-star Hyatt that is the Hyatt Place Rouen that is in Normandy in France. Now, it's being considered one of the most luxurious hotels in that brand that they've got. There are 85 rooms for that hotel. It includes a French restaurant, a spa. Yes, a spa at a Hyatt Place, with a heated pool and treatment rooms, gym, and 3 meetings rooms. It's a couple of hours from Paris. The cash rates are only starting around $100 per night here in the fall. And of course, for points that as we talked about earlier, you can get this for as low as 3,500 points a night when it's off peak. So if you're going to be near Normandy, it might be something to look at. The pictures are outstanding looking of it, especially when you're considering it's a Hyatt Place. So wanted to make sure to share that with you as a four-star hotel there as a Hyatt Place. So now let's move to the Six Senses Telluride. Now, we've talked about Six Senses a lot last week as far as it being kind of an upper level brand for IHG, and there being 26 of them, with 6 of them that you can't book for IHG, but 20 of them you can. But all of them are outside of the continental United States, or outside of the United States overall. And so now we're talking about Telluride here in the United States. So let's talk about it. Now, this Six Senses Telluride is slated to open in 2028. So we do have a while to go. It's expected to have 77 rooms and 24 residences in the resort. Now, this represents the first luxury IHG brand in the Mountain West region here in the United States. The resort will be in the Mountain Village, which is just above Telluride. And you can actually take a pedestrian gondola between Mountain Village and Telluride in just 13 minutes. Now, what to expect? Now, the services will include a ski concierge and on-site experience teams in areas like hiking, rafting, and destination dining in the area, which is a nice touch. Now, restaurant and bars will include like a speakeasy, specialty restaurant, and an omakase, which I had not heard of that term. So for those that that might be at my level, I looked up, and it refers to "I leave it to you" restaurant, which is referring to the chef, which I've not attended one of those. So if you have, curious of what you found when you kind of left it to the chef. They're going to expect it to have a rooftop pool, which would be the only one in Telluride. Now, the spa will have hammam, cryotherapy, and ancient healing traditions using sound. So, and that kind of ties along with the Six Senses brand of them. Now, as far as thoughts, the acquisition of Regent and Six Senses is to enter this ultra luxury space that is above the Intercontinental brand that they're well known for. Now, this is one of 3 Six Senses resorts that are planned for the United States. The other 2 are in the Napa region in California, as well as the islands of South Carolina. So really nice locations for that. no information that I can provide on that as of yet. And then as far as region, you've got the Santa Monica region that is open for bookings for stays that as of September 17th coming up. So if you want to see what IHG will be looking at doing with these two brands, these would be kind of the ones to start looking at. And so next we'll move to Marriott Promotions. And I want to say good evening to Call Me Lonnie. Appreciate you stopping through, sir. Another very good creator in this credit card niche. Really just kind of a real good style of how he talks about his experiences with credit cards, and definitely one to take a look at. And so as we look at Marriott Promotions, we've got a few different things, and there are some options for stacking that you definitely have to take a look at if it fits within your time frame. So as I mentioned, we have three promotions that we can stack. Two of the three are related to promotions under their Earn Two-Way promotion. Now that's going to require a registration, and I'll have a link for you to be able to register for that promotion. And then the third promotion is if you have a co-branded Marriott credit card. Now, it's possible to stack all of these promotions to be able to get 6,000 bonus points for each 2-night stay, which is a very nice return if you are, especially if you're already planning on being at a Marriott. So let's walk through this. So for the Earn Two Ways promotion, you're going to get 2,000 bonus points for each eligible paid 2-night stay. And then you can earn an additional 2,000 bonus points if the 2-night stay is part of MGM collection with Marriott Bonvoy property. As you can imagine, with the MGM, we're talking about these Vegas brands that fall under MGM. So something to be able to look at, to be able to double up. And then if it's in the cards, then what you're looking at, the Marriott Bonvoy credit card holders can register for, a separate card member exclusive for this promotion. Under this, 2,000 bonus points for just having one of the cards. Now, you don't have to use the card to book your stay. You just have to register. But of course, you're going to earn the additional points of having a Marriott branded, co-branded credit card. So why wouldn't you do it? Now, the credit card must have been issued prior to August 16th of 2024. So if you are someone that just got one, then this part of the promotion is not one that you'll be able to use, but you still got two and potentially 2 or 4,000, even if you don't have the card for this. So as we talk about this, we talked about the registration is required for the 2 ways, and it's in the cards promotion. Now you have to the registration must be done by November 12th for this. Bonus points are awarded for each eligible 2-night stay from September 10th through November 26th of 2024. So we do have a small window, and that applies to both programs. Now, there are some exclusions regarding ones that don't fit part of this program. So for both promotions, it will not include, you cannot include the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection, Marriott Executive Apartments, owner-occupied weeks at the Marriott Vacation Club. Obviously, if you've got a week there, you can't count that for yourself. Grand Residences by Marriott, Marriott Grand Residence Club, Sheraton Vacation Club, Westin Vacation Club, Ritz-Carlton Club, St. Regis Residence Club, and the Luxury Collection Residence Club are all not applicable. Now, for It's in the Cards, stays at the Homes and Villas by Marriott Bonvoy are excluded. And for the Earn Two Ways, stays at the Belgrade is excluded. So be sure to register ASAP so you don't miss any opportunities with any type of bookings you're going to look at doing. And only one room is eligible per stay for the bonus. So if you're getting 4 rooms for family, you're only going to get 1 room that's going to count for this. So that's something to keep in mind, but that could be something to rack up some pretty good points for yourself. So let's talk now about IHG. So for IHG, they have a 20% off in breakfast promotion. Now, registration is not required for that particular promotion. Valid for stays are booked by September 11th and completed by June 30th of 2025. So we have a very big window of being able to use this promotion. It includes specific resorts in Australia, Japan, Micronesia, French Polynesia, the South Pacific Islands, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Southeast Asia. Now, the link that I have will show those specific hotels that apply to this on drop downs. So don't worry about that. The link will be able to easily walk you through those eligible locations, and hopefully something fits for you. There'll be a free breakfast for each guest in the room, but you must book at least 3 days in advance for that. So that's a pretty good promotion that might fit. And once again, I'll have a link in the description for you to be able to easily get to that. Then we have the IHG Vignette collection, which I had not heard of, but the Maldives debut of that collection is coming. So we have the Noku Maldives Vignette collection will debut in December of this year. I'm barely going to try to pronounce this island that's in the Maldives, which is the Kudafunafro Island. Just pay attention to the spelling for it. I'm not good with that. Now this will be the 5th IHG property in the Maldives, which also includes a Six Senses, an Intercontinental, and Holiday Inn brands there. Now, this is the first for the Vignette collection, and it's considered to be a collection of one-of-a-kind properties that are going to be united in the desire to promote authentic travel experiences for what that is worth. Now, this one will have 50 guest rooms. It'll have 30 overwater villas and 20 beachfront villas. The minimum square footage of a guest room is 1,800 square feet, which is gigantic to me. But it also represents one of the most spacious in the Maldives. They'll have 2 restaurants and bars as well as an outdoor pool. So that may be something that can fit for you, and to try something new if you're new to the Maldives. Not someplace I've been, and probably won't be getting there for a little bit of time. But that sounds like an interesting collection as we see all of these major hotels look at how they're expanding and what type of collection they're looking at. Are they creating new collections? So all of these new developments are always going to be good for us people in points and miles. Then we have the Intercontinental Belgrade Hotel. Now, this is a new one that is going to be not to open until late 2026 and will be located in the Delta District, which is a new mixed-use development in Serbia. 203-room hotel, including 28 premium rooms, 15 junior suites, 2 executive suites, 2 superior suites, and a presidential suite that will have a panoramic view of the city. Breathtaking sky pool is expected, rooftop restaurant and bar, and terrace complete with fine dining. So yet another expansion of IHG, of what they're able to do, and some things for us to look for in the future. And then we have to look at Best Western promotions. Now, I have not stayed at Best Western in many years, but when we go over this list of promotions, there may be something that fits for you and me. So let's take a look at that. So the first thing we have is the 7,770 bonus point promotion. Registration is required for it. Once again, all of these ones that have registrations, I'll have links for in the description after the show. Now, you do need to book by September 2nd and complete your stay by November 18th. You can earn 7,770 bonus points up to 10 times for a maximum of 77,700 points. The great thing about this is a stay of a single night qualifies for that 7,770 bonus points, just one single night. Now, make sure you be careful, though. If you check out and check back into the same hotel the next day, it will not count as a separate stay. So just be careful if you are going to be doing some of these things, to make sure that you're hitting those points 10 times if you can, for as little as 10 different nights. The offer applies to Best Western hotels and resorts in the United States, in Canada, and the Caribbean, just those 3 locations for that particular program. Then you have a double points promotion, registration required again, but you can earn double points on stays from September 3rd to November 18th of 2024 at any Best Western branded hotel globally. So no restrictions of where you're going to be at. And on top of that, there is no limit to the number of points you can gain. So that is the double points program. Then we have another program, which is the up to 20,000 points rebate on award stays. So there is no registration for this one. You can get 2,000 points back up to 10 times, meaning a maximum of 20,000 points kicked back to you. And these are valid on stays through September 2nd of 2024. And once again, a stay of a single night qualifies. Eligible stays are in the United States for this, as well as the Caribbean for this. So once again, another program that might fit for you. Then we move to the 10,000 bonus Best Western points. This program requires a registration. You can earn 10,000 bonus points up to 2 times for a total of 20,000 bonus points for Best Western. Now, you do need to stay at a Best Western hotel and resort branded hotel through Monday, September 2nd, and earn 10,000 points. Now, you do have to have 3 nights for this particular promotion. Since the and this will be only applied to the US, Canada, and the Caribbean. Now, since the promotion is based on nights, it does not matter if you stay 3 consecutive nights at the same hotel or at different hotels, as long as it's 3 consecutive nights. Now, there are separate programs for Asia, Australia, and New Zealand together, and the Indian subcontinent. Now, I'll have links for Asia as well as Australia and New Zealand. I've not been able to come up with the link for the Indian subcontinent, but if I do come across it, I will make sure to put that, get that up for you to be able to look at as well. And then as far as this 10,000 bonus points, there's also one with the World Hotel properties. Registration required. Stays need to be completed by September 2nd. You can earn 10,000 bonus points once again after 3 nights at these properties and twice for up to the 20,000 points. So same as the program we just talked about, but this one is for the World Hotel properties. And so now let's move to Bilt because they've been pretty busy, and some things that we need to go ahead and touch on and some things to keep in mind. So the first thing is we've got the Walgreens and Bilt Rewards partnership. It is unique as if you've done any looking at it. They are providing bonus points. So 1x, 1 Bilt point per dollar on purchases, general purchases, 2 Bilt points per dollar on Walgreens branded purchases, and then you can get 100 Bilt points on up to 26 prescription refills per year with this. Now, the beauty of this is that you do not have to use your Bilt credit card. You'll be able to link another credit card to your Bilt account to be able to do that. And the rewards points from Bilt would be on top of the points that you earn on your credit card. And so, of course, the 1 or 2 that come to mind immediately is Chase Freedom Unlimited, as well as the Chase Freedom Flex at 3x per dollar on drugstores. So now you could be getting 3x for that from Chase, as well as up to 2x if you're getting Walgreens branded products through Bilt. Of course, there's a few other ones that you could be able to look at for credit cards related to drugstores, but those 2 are the biggest ones that come into mind for me to be able to get that much from that. Now, they do have an FSA HSA, which is flexible spending account, and the HSA is a spending account for eligible items that you can get at the drugstore that are health related. So the HSA is a health savings account. I had to think about that. Now, you'll have on the app, you'll be able to see the eligible items for your FSA and your HSA, not HAS. It'll be flagged. It'll help by transferring funds to your credit card from a linked FSA HSA payment card, which you would go ahead and set up. There's also going to be free photo prints, although when you look at your Bilt Rewards app, you will not see, it says that it's not yet available. A couple of things to keep in mind. You have to determine your level of comfort for access. I know, obviously there's so many different breaches and so many different things that people may not feel comfortable about sharing their information, and so you can, that's something that you'll have to determine what works for you when it comes to prescriptions, especially. Although there, it's not supposed to be sharing all of your details of your prescription. It's just showing that it is utilizing that as a prescription. So determine your own comfort level. And then make sure to maximize with a linked credit card, like we just talked about, for from a Freedom Flex or a Freedom Unlimited type of example, to get the full maximization out of this. And then you should also look at Rakuten, because there apparently is sometimes in-store offers that you could also be able to apply to this potentially. So we want to stack as many things we can on this to give us the best value possible. So that is the Bilt Rewards Walgreens partnership, kind of in a nutshell. And then just as we get to a quick review of Bilt as we come up to this Bilt Rent Day, we're obviously looking at double multipliers. So we're getting 6x on dining, 4x on travel, 2x on everything else, 1x on rent, which doesn't change based on the rent day. And then this is normally between midnight on September 1 and 2:59 a.m. on September 2nd. So if you're a night owl, if you're out and about, you may be able to start utilizing the rent day at these other ends. So keep in mind for that. 5 minimum transactions that you have to do to trigger getting the points. So make sure you get that done. As I've talked about many times before, I normally will throw utilities or insurance payments out for the first to make up the 5 for anything that I need to do. And once again, maximize your rent day. Very important. We want to maximize everything we possibly can. And then I won't go over all of the details on the tiers, but just make sure that as we're coming into this rent day, know where you're at on your bill tier, whether you're a blue member, a silver, a gold, or if you've already made platinum, congratulations. And see if there is a situation where you might be able to lock yourself into the next tier up with just the way you normally spend. So that may be something to take a look at that. Now let's talk about the different things that are going on for Rent Day. First, we've got the Rent-Free Game Show. Now this is going to be co-hosted by David Portnoy, who is the founder and owner of Barstool Sports, and the Bilt founder, Ankur Jain. The game is already open. You need to play by 3 p.m. on September 1st. And it's a Family Feud style game if you've never played it. It is pretty interesting. Now, the top 10 players will be revealed as of 4 p.m. on September 1st and will become rent winners up to $2,500 depending upon their rent. The next 600 members will get extra Bilt rewards points. I've not had an opportunity to win any of that. Clearly, I'm not that good at Family Feud. Then the complimentary fitness add-ons that are going on through Bilt, and this is not just for rent day. It's just if you're into exercise and especially in the biking aspect, these are nice touches to remember. That the Y7 Studio will provide you a free mat and a towel rental. Soul Cycle provides free shoe rental and bottle of water. And Cycle Bar provides free shoe rental. And once again, this is not just for rent day. So if you are attending these through Bilt, make sure to utilize these fitness add-ons. And then for the Soul Cycle ride, which has been pretty standard every month, can be done at 50 plus centers. It's a 45-minute cycling class. They'll have complimentary bikes per rent day will be available. This began, as far as booking the class, starting at noon here on the 29th. And if you're going to cancel, just be sure to get that done so that you don't end up having a penalty on that. There's a small window for that. And then one rider will be selected to have their rent paid for up to $2,500. Now, as far as the neighborhood dining program, there'll be all-inclusive reservations at top restaurants. The participating cities for this month is Atlanta, Austin, Chicago, Dallas, Houston, Los Angeles, Miami, Nashville, New York, Philadelphia, San Francisco, and DC. Reservations start at $75 or 6,000 points. Now, the problem is that this is already started and opened in the morning. And so if you were to look at your Bilt rewards right now, you would basically just see that you're waitlisted, and you can seek a notification. So these do fill, there's not a lot of slots and they do fill up very quickly. So if you are ever interested in this, make sure that you're paying attention to your Bilt Rewards app for when the window opens. And it's like you only used to be every 10 minutes where it would be platinum, then gold, then silver, then blue, and they'd work their way down every 10 minutes of when the window opens. This time it went from 11:50 for platinum, and then it opened for everybody else at noon. So these got eaten up pretty quickly. So once again, if you're in one of these cities, have an interest in that, make sure to pay attention when the window opens because you're definitely going to need to jump on it quick or else you will not get in. And then a couple of interesting things, and this ties to David Portnoy, is the One Bite Pizza Festival. So Bilt members can get tickets for the afternoon or evening session of Dave Portnoy's One Bite Pizza Festival. Now, this is being held on September 14th in New York. You can purchase 1 to 6 tickets starting at noon on the 28th. So that has already opened. You will get access to the Bilt Living Room Lounge there as well. The afternoon session is $250 or 7,500 Bilt points, and the evening session is $180 or 5,000 Bilt points. So you can be able to do that through the app. The new one for this month is the Resort Pass offer. So this lets you book a hotel or spa day pass. So if you purchase the Resort Pass offer on your on rent day, which is September 1st at midnight to September 2nd at 2:59 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you will enjoy a buy one, get one free offer. So if you choose a Resort Pass property via the rent day experience in the Bilt app or website, the coupon will be automatically applied to let you book a buy one, get one free for pool chairs, spa passes, and day passes when at least 2 passes are purchased. Now, the food and drink component is not included in this offer, but if you're looking for a day to get away and you find a resort that works for you, there's nothing wrong with buy one, get one free with a play or two or with a friend or anybody. So might be something that might work for you. And then, of course, we got transfer bonuses this month. So we've got the Avianca Life Miles. For all Bilt members, you'll enjoy a 50% transfer. The transfer increments are of 1,000. And this one is that same window we've talked about, September 1 from midnight to 2:59 a.m. on the September 2nd. Once again, it's nice that it's 50%, but it's not groundbreaking. But if Avianca Life Miles are very versatile, if you do have something that is planned that will work for you and can help, and you've got a stash of your Bilt points, great. But of course, be careful because Avianca is transfer partners with so many different credit card partners. And while you may not get 50% in that particular case, especially if you have time, the Bilt reward points are probably a little more valuable to you to then not use it for this. But your use case, just be aware of it. Then the second one is Virgin Atlantic Flying Club, which of course you can transfer to Virgin Red. So keep that in mind. You get an escalating bonus on this one, 20% for blue members, 40% for silver, 60% for gold, and 100% bonus for platinum. Now, points can be transferred in increments of 1,000 points. Blue members must transfer at least 2,000 points. And for this one, this is a different time frame. So September 1st, 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, not that 2:59 a.m. September 2nd. Although actually it is the same thing. The Pacific time is the same as the Eastern, so disregard that. It is 2:59 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 2nd. So once again, if you've Virgin is very flexible, very versatile. But once again, a lot of credit cards have them. But if you are in the upper tiers of this build program and you've got the points and you've got a plan, this could be something that could work out for you. But be aware of that. And then we've got the Virgin Voyages again that we had last month. Bill members can bring a complimentary guest on select Virgin Voyages when booking an eligible Sea Terrace cabin. Now, the benefits that are exclusive with this is a $100 bar tab, a unlimited premium Wi-Fi, 2 specialty coffees per day, priority boarding, access to an exclusive cocktail event, and complimentary laundry services. You do need to book by September 2nd at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and use the access key VVBILT at checkout. Shouldn't be any problem if you're doing it through your app, but keep that one in mind. There's a lot of eligible cruises. I won't read through all of them because there's a number of them, but they begin starting September 4th and they go all the way into the end of the year. So you can be on a Fire and Sunset Soiree that just keeps you there in Florida. You've got the Mayan Soul, which takes you from Miami to Bimini and back to Miami through Costa Maya. You've got the Riviera Maya from Miami to Cozumel to Bimini, and that's their beach club is Bimini, to back to Florida. You've got a Scarlet Fright Voyage, which is near Halloween. That's going to keep you in Greece as well as Rome and Sicily. You've got a Transatlantic Tricks and Treats that's right around that same time. This one's taking you from Barcelona to Casablanca, to Santa Cruz, back to Miami or to Miami. So there's a lot of different options here for you, and you can easily be able to scroll through all the trips that are available on your app if anything seems to fit for what you are looking for. And a lot of these only have one date. So if you see something and the date fits, make sure that you take a look at that. And just one last thing about build strategy. We're going to lose that 10,000 point bonus here after September 1st, and we're going to drop all the way down to 1,000 points. So if you are seeing that you are close to a tier, and with it not extending your spending where you should not, but if you've got the spending that you are going to plan to do anyway, and that plus the bonus points might move you to the next tier, keep that in mind because you're not going to lose that bonus point option going forward. So I just want to remind you about that. And of course, if you're not familiar with Bilt, you're either trying to earn Bilt status through points, which is accumulated regardless of the source, or you're doing it through your cash spend, and that does not include your rent spend. But the status that you earn now is good through the remainder of this year and all of next year. So it can be pretty valuable if you see opportunities for yourself on Bilt. So one thing I like seeing this as far as the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing, and that came from Walt Disney. So there's a lot of promotions and a lot of things we've talked about today. And once again, I will that description is going to be filled with links for you to see any of these promotions that were there for you. Want to make sure that nobody has any questions or anything that was covered on this today. Just as I always talk about, every week there's all kinds of information to be able to talk about. But if there are no questions or anything to fit to print, thank you all so much. And once again, if you're not subscribed to the channel and you find benefits from the information, please consider liking and subscribing. I really appreciate you all support. And thank you all so much for stopping through today. And I'll make sure to get this recording chopped up into chapters and get the links in there for you as soon as possible, so that you can get started looking at what your next best trip will be. Thank you so much and take care.